Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's recording. So good evening, everybody. This is our, I think it's the second or third Project Angel that we're doing in spring 2021. And today we're gonna go over how to pay your bills. Some people they do use direct deposit, which is a very common way people pay their bills. Will not pay their bills, but receive money from their jobs. And so they don't have to physically get the check and physically go to the bank or go to the check cashing place or things of that nature. Um, so yeah, we're just going to talk about some ways you can pay your bills. And basically the big thing is planning to make sure that everything is paid on time and you're not, stressed out in that in between process. Oh, let's see this one. There we go. So we have some overviews, and these are things that we're going to get into more detail as we move along. So some of these techniques we're going to use are separate bank accounts, envelope method, the half and half methods, and Matt is going to talk about some of the tracking tools, so like calendars, Excel, which is a computer app, and also some apps on your phone just to help you with keeping up with those bills. So having a separate bank account. Um, so sometimes you can use accounts, well, all the time you can use accounts uh, for specific bills. So you could utilize your direct deposit and set up automatic transfers. So, let's say you're really busy, you have kids, you have a family, and you don't always want to have to go and stop what you're doing and pay a bill. When if you have your direct deposit set up, if your company offers that, it'll automatically be transferred out of your account, for certain bills that you're going to have on a consistent basis. And also, let's say you want to, save some money and you want to have a certain account for bills. And then maybe you want to have another account for like miscellaneous things or just, for shopping or I don't know, for treats that you get for yourself. So you could set up different bank accounts for different activities, which also it just helps you organize. And so now we have the envelope method, which actually my brother, I've seen him use this quite a bit. He's kind of old school with it. So it does give you a visual of basically what bills you have. Um, so basically, let's say you have an envelope and your bill has come in. And so the bill with that envelope, let's say you take the bill out. And so you use that envelope for that bill. So you write on that envelope, how much the bill is first. And so then that gives you a visual, okay, I have this amount, I owe them this amount. So gradually, as you get the money to pay off the bill, you write on the bill, okay, I put in, let's say $20. So you write, $20, put the $20 in there. And then say, the next day or a few days later, you add more money to that bill payment. So then you put another $20 in and you scratch that $20 out and put a 40. So then, you just tracking, gradually how much money you're putting towards that bill each time. And it basically, for me, I'm a visual person. So things like that help me out when it comes to, just remembering things, because I'm very, very visual. So I can remember, if I've seen a number or I've seen, this bill, this company, or I've seen, certain words, it registers to me in my brain. So yeah, that's something that I know a lot of people who use it. Maybe not younger people, but I've definitely seen like my brother, which he's young, but he's like an old head. Um, and I've definitely seen like my dad and other, just older people in my family use that as a method. And if you're the type of person, I still like to write a lot. I'm not a typing type of person. Like when I take notes, I rather write for like muscle memory and stuff like that. So especially if you're the type of person that loves to write things down naturally, this will be a great concept for you. And so then we have the half and half method. And so this method is basically, it's a planning method. So, let's say you have a $300 car payment or $400 car payment. And, that's, at first, that's a lot of money to pay in a month's time. And you want to plan for that. Sometimes you don't always just have that $300 or $400 to deduct all at one time. So you could, depending on how many times you get paid a month, or whether it's twice a month or 4 times a month, you basically plan for, okay, let's say you have a $400 bill. Okay, so set it up in halves. So this first half of the month, I'm gonna owe $200. So that's a less daunting number than, okay, I just have to give $400 out flat. So being able to plan and cut things down to a more manageable manner, that's going to help you get your bills paid on time, and that's also going to help you plan for things. So you're never going to be late, because if you're planning to pay a bill that's due at the end of the month, and you're planning the payment for the first half of the month and on to the second half, then you're going to have it paid on time. So
now, tracking the bills. A lot of people use calendars. They'll put a calendar on their fridge and they'll track out every single bill that they have and what due date. Sometimes you might not have a say in the due date, like mortgage. You have to do within the first 5 days of the month, or maybe a doctor bill. It's due by this time. Sometimes you can work with creditor or your debtors, people who you owe money to. Sometimes you can ask for a certain date. I know like the Dominion Power, they will work with you and say, hey, I want to do it on the 15th. If you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, and they give you a bill on the 10th, and you want to make it the 15th, you can ask them, as long as you are up to full, you might have to pay bring your account up to full and pay a second or a second bill, just so your account's up to full, so you can change the date. But make sure you have a calendar. Some people put in their phone calendars, but some type of visualization, just so you know when the due date is. And that's why you want to make a buffer, just in case if you miss a bill, or a bill is pretty close. You want to have some type of buffer, depending on how much your actual income is and what your bills are. You want to have some sort of buffer that you can manage when you pay a bill, and forecast what bills you have. So if you have 3 bills adding up to $300, you want to have a buffer of $500 at least, so you can pay for those $300 bills, or $300 total dollar bills, and you'll have $200 extra just in case another bill or groceries or things like that. Just have a buffer. And then you always want to understand the personal payday cycle. Depending on how often you get paid. A lot of government jobs have the 1st and the 15th, or 15th and the 30th. Some jobs have weekly, some jobs every 2 weeks. And this is another reason why you want to mark your due dates and your income dates whenever you get paid and whenever those bills are due, so you can have a better way to manage your funds. And also be mindful of the service fees that they charge. Paying bills, you would think would be, they would want your money, but it costs them if they have to use credit cards. So a lot of places will put that added cost onto you. So I know the city of Virginia Beach, for their water bill, to do it through credit card, they'll add $3 or $4 service fee just for that paying your bill. So a lot of people like to just mail it in, or they'll go down to the treasurer's office to pay their bill just to avoid that fee. and because you don't want to pay an extra $2 or $3 every time on your month or every month on your expenses. And then the next one is tracking through Excel. A lot of people like using Excel for budgeting. Excel uses budget templates for this reason. They have you can set up cells and formulas. So each month you can add and subtract, and it'll, as long you can put money, or you can put your income in and also have expenses for each bill, and you can list out all the bills that you have. So Excel is a really good program that you can use. When you input your income, then you can add in more expenses if you need to, or it's the variability with Excel. It's very flexible. You can do a lot of different things. You can have visuals like a graph or a bar graph, pie chart. I know I like to use it for my debt. When I pay off debt, I every month I'll put in how much I've paid off that month, and I'll track it by using a graph of how much I pay off every month and how much total debt I actually have, just so I have that visualization, because it forces me and it motivates me to pay off more debt. Now, this is an example of an Excel budget. And as you can see, you have the percent of income up at the top, where you have how much income you have and how much you are spending. There's different scenarios out there of how much you want to save, how much you want to spend, but that's for another time. This is just for a visualization of what what an Excel spreadsheet might be able to do for you. It will show you a summary of your total monthly income, your expenses, and sometimes you can actually do how much percentage of that expense is compared to your income. So a lot of times, like your mortgage will be the biggest expense, and it'll be half your income, or a third of your income. And this is using Excel is a great way to see what you can maybe cut down on. Let's say groceries are one of your biggest expenses. It's a good visualization using Excel to reduce your grocery bill, and it's a great way to look at your budget at a glance. Moving on, now with the digital age, you have a lot of mobile apps, website and mobile apps that can help you track this. You can link up your bank account straight to these mobile apps, and they're very safe, and they link through to your checking, your savings account, your debit, your credit cards, even your investments. They compile all these accounts, and it shows what your net worth is. It shows where you spend the most money. It's a step further than Excel. It will actually forecast what's your next budget. What is your spending style? What is something that you can save? Are you over budgeted on this category? Sometimes, and a few of them have security notifications. So if it's something that's not really what near your area, let's say you have a credit card and you swipe it, and you live in Virginia, but you swipe it in Washington State, they'll have some type of notification. Hey, is this you? And it will give you a heads up just in case it isn't you. And then it's on your mobile phone as a mobile app. They'll have a website and you can do the app. And it's also a quick, easy glance of, do I have the money for this? Can I spend this extra money for this item? It's a great way to maybe look at your bank account before you spend it on something that, I mean, on a want rather than a need. All right, and moving on to the tracking, and you always want to avoid late fees as much as possible. That's sometimes it's a mistake. I've been guilty of that when it just slips and you forget to pay a bill. But yes, it sucks, but it happens. Don't beat yourself up about it, but try to avoid them as much as possible because it can add that added cost to the bill is more money coming out of your pocket. So that's the whole reason why you want to budget and track your bills so that you avoid the late fees. Because it's just an extra expense just by not paying your bill a day late. And it can actually spiral out of control if you miss one payment. You miss one payment, it's an extra $20 that you might not have, and then another payment, or you might miss another payment for another bill, which might be another $20 that you might not have, and then the cycle continues, and it's an excessive cycle that can spin off control with and can be very costly. All right, well, that is the end of lesson 2, effective bill paying techniques.
Enjoyed talking to you guys virtually. Hopefully, when you guys watch this, that you get something out of it. And I know a lot of these things are very useful. They're not too complex. They're pretty simple for anybody, especially if you're just starting to get on your feet, or you're just starting to live on your own. They're very, just foundational skills that can put you in a good position, to be in good financial standing. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody whenever you guys tune in. So let me